That's not just me, that happened to me too. And my
And
editor
the
and I
thing
were,
you have
we
to
were
remember
confused.
is editors and publishers are human too.
Oh, of course.
But it's rough when you're reading a professional book and it's
Because
got all
readers will
kinds of
blame you
grammatical
for those
errors.
mistakes.
But
Which is
I have
not
glitter
true.
on me.
You pushed it and laid it on the
No,
table.
here, put that on matches.
Oh yeah, I took my hat off. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay, that's okay.
No, put it on the other way. Put it on the other way. Go backwards, yes. Got it.
Really?
Yeah.
Can it go hip hop?
Backwards. I like the backwards better though.
Well, I want to make you happy.
Me?
No, her. The
I
one
was
that said
gonna
I like
say.
it better backwards. I don't want to make you happy. That's his job. You need to
Sometimes.
step up your game.
You got to see Linus right now.
Yes, improvements.
It's our anniversary today.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's our
Yeah.
6-year anniversary.
You got married on Father's Day?
No.
Yeah.
I'd say that seems funny. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
How do you celebrate? Never mind.
I don't write adult works, I can't explain that. Another thing that I've learned with my editor, and this is from a professional viewpoint, is something called love it and kill it. In my contract, I had 4 items that I had to do or they would not accept my manuscript to be in their company. And one of them was like a name change. For some reason, I was stubborn, I really wanted to change it. And they said, well, honey, you're gonna learn. Sometimes you gotta love it, but we gotta kill it. So I accepted that. So there might be things they take out that you're like, oh, why? But just be logical. They do want to help you. I mean, they're getting a percentage as well. It's a team effort, no matter if you have your friends helping you or your parent or a professional editor and publisher. It's a team effort. Everybody wants this book to do well. And nobody's right all the time, not even women. I know we usually are.
That was a single guy that said that, right?
Yeah.
You know what? It's going to stay that way until you wise up.
I lost my thought. Thank you a
Well,
lot.
having said that, though, where she said nobody's always right,
Yeah.
the editing process is a give and take, though.
Yeah. It is.
So if the editor says, I want you to do something different with this, if it is an important part to your storyline and it's crucial to your characters or what you're trying to do, if you believe in what you're saying, your job is to fight for it.
Yeah.
For college people that are getting a doctorate, they have to turn in what's called a dissertation, and they have to defend it.
It's awful.
They bring in experts in the field, and it is their job to rip apart your dissertation, and you have to go defend every point they bring up about why you're right and they're wrong. It is not wrong to stand up for what you're writing, what your story is. If
Because
there's
it's
a
your
part in there
story.
you want that you really feel is important, your job is to be able to defend it. If you can argue your case and make it show, and this is where having a plan when you write really helps, because an editor, when they're going through that, they're not trying to get caught up in the story. They're actually trying not to.
Yeah.
They don't read the whole thing first and then go back and start editing it. And if you've done a good job foreshadowing, you can take a section and it's like, I don't understand why that's there. You don't need it. And you go, you need to skip ahead to chapter 21. This happens and this happens, and it can't be that way if
Unless
this doesn't happen. And they're like, oh, well, okay, we'll talk about it when I get done with chapter 21. And then they'll put a note back there going, okay, it works, but can we change the order like this? And we'll put this happening first.
Or change the word.
And then it still happens so it flows better,
Right.
but you don't lose it in the story. Because that editing process is give and take,
Exactly.
and it's frustrating. I absolutely hate being corrected. And it doesn't come, and forgive me, it doesn't come from a place of insecurity. I've been married long enough to know I'm wrong a lot. I'm a martial arts instructor, and I plan my lesson plans out, and I've spent thousands of hours on the floor learning my craft and going over what we're doing. And I don't want somebody to tell me, well, you're doing it wrong, because if you're paying
watched
me money to
YouTube
teach
video.
you, you're supposed to be alert. And when I write, I do go through this vetting process, huge, before I write. And that's every morning before I start typing. I go to a quiet space. Usually quiet is riding my Harley around the neighborhood for about half an hour to just kind of relax. And then I go and I start writing, and it usually comes out pretty fast because I already know what I'm doing, what I want to say. So when I'm putting my life into the story, and my editor goes, this sucked, I didn't like this, I don't know why you think you're a writer in the first place. I'm like, don't talk to me that way. If you don't like the story, just say so. Don't attack me. My wife said it was good. So I have to get past that in the editing process and kind of bite that down and realize he may be doing that to feel better about himself, but if he's got a valid point, I need to take it. So you have to let your ego go, and the one thing you can't do is go, you can't say that about my story. I'm Vic Mignogna. Not that I normally say that, but I'm Vic Mignogna. Or, you know, I'm Samurai Dan. Don't you know I could rip your arms off and beat you to death with them? You should be nice to me. Because if the point they bring up is accurate, take it, listen to them, fix it, find a way to, and that's why it's important you find an editor that makes you a better writer, not somebody that just agrees with you, and not somebody who is willing to play devil's advocate and immediately assume the opposite. You want to find somebody that when you're done, if you take your draft that you turned into them the first time, at the end of the process, if you like it better than you did when you started,
They did their job.
they did their job and they have helped make you a better storyteller. Because what I write on my own, I always think, that's not true, but you feel like you like what you did. And until somebody rips it apart and you have to put it all back going, I give up, I'm not writing. I'm going back to the floor and I'll just take kickboxing matches to pay bills. I can't write. You get over that and get done, and when you're done, you're looking at this going, this is way better than what I had the first time. I like this.
I was going to say, a lot of it's grammatical stuff, but a lot of it is that we're tightening it up. We're making it move better.
Exactly, and so again, the editing process is my least favorite, but it's probably the most important part to a finished product. Because before that, all you have is raw materials. And this is the refinement.
I like how you said stand up for your word, because about 80% of the little, I guess, discussions I had with my agent about my work, she just, like you said, she didn't get the foreshadowing or didn't get that part of the character, and we talk it out. So you want somebody who's, I guess, firm but fair. That's an old expression. That's not afraid to give you criticism, and criticism's hard. I understand. I have very low confidence, and I always get nervous when I get reviews, but I've learned that, okay, they're just giving their opinion, or sometimes I'm like, oh wow, I should take this into consideration, like Dan listens to his audience. Because we are writing not just for ourselves, but also for you guys.
That's actually the bigger part for me.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible. I don't have enough ego to write for myself, or to do public speaking for
Oh, no, I
myself.
wouldn't. I write
I'm
for
a very
comfort, I
withdrawn,
guess.
quiet person off stage. I know you don't believe that, but try going to dinner with me at a con. I just
Awkward
sit.
silence the
I
whole
don't-
time.
I don't talk and people think I'm mad or stuck up. You guys went to dinner with us.
Yeah.
Did I speak at all?
A little bit.
Not much.
But you were
no.
also
Not more
tired.
than
No.
you did.
You were also tired.
See, you're
That
making
says a lot.
excuses for me. The simple truth is that's how I go to
But
dinner
that's okay.
normally. I just don't talk. Because I'm not entertaining anybody. That's my time, and I just.
Exactly. I understand.
And if it were not to tell to have other people read the stories, I wouldn't do it. I just, even though I love writing and I love storytelling, it's kind of awkward telling stories to yourself.
I guess you could wonder people up.
Oh no, I'm usually lecturing them about what they're doing wrong.
So you're editor.
I'm editing their
Yeah,
content.
there you go.
I believe this is the point where we
Yeah.
open this up to
Combat
more
editor.
question and
By
answer,
any
So he's a combat
discussion.
editor then?
Yeah.
Not that you haven't been talking and editing and
Judging us.
as we go.
Reviewing us.
I like that. But obviously, we have a room full of storytellers,
Yes.
or at least people who enjoy stories, because you guys have gotten all the references. What?
It was Jack Sparrow, sorry.
Get over it.
Can't.
That's for her.
Instead of worshiping somebody else's created character,
No,
why don't
it-
you make some of your
it was
own?
for her.
Yeah, I know. I heard you the first time. I'm trying to be funny.
Oh, trying.
And failing.
Yeah, that would have really hurt if it would come from somebody whose opinion actually mattered. We can play this game all day.
He'll win. He'll win.
My favorite T-shirt from the '80s said, "I refuse to lose a battle."
Well, he's got to
against
win
an
against
unarmed
some woman,
opponent."
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have taken that as a personal challenge. My hat's falling off. Right?
Literally or metaphorically?
Both.
Unarmed or unarmed?
Both.
Yeah.
I believe in double entendres whenever possible.
It's those kids with their
Oh, and my
whistles
gym
again.
class is starting. Everybody line up.
Well, I'd fail that.
So now that I actually opened it up for you guys to be able to ask questions or comment, no one's saying anything.
Oh, that's why I talked to the whole panel, so I don't have any questions at the end.
I like that, but that's not how we set this up. Now we're gonna have to revise our outline. We'll include question and answer time.
And
Morgan's
into the
real big on
editing.
scripting everything.
I had noticed from the paper that you haven't used all weekend. You just freehand everything.
It seems that way. Ask my wife how many
No,
hours I
you
spend
spend
on our
practicing,
panels
yeah.
before I ever get up in front of an audience. And I don't mean to bash anybody else at all, but I am not a fan of paying money to go listen to somebody speak who doesn't know his material enough that he needs notes. I use notes. I have every panel I